Hey, welcome back to Burnt Wood Workshop. Today we're going to go over 3D or image engraving on wood, but instead of pine like I usually do, I've done a little bit on plywood. I'm going to go a little more into plywood. I'm going to go into Atom and show a few things in their AI generation, in AI Make, a couple tricks I learned. I'm going to go into ImagR and show the different results you get. They're quite a different engrave style, but it gives you some different details. So we're going to go into the programming aspect. I'm going to show you a bunch of different results, and didn't get out on Friday night like I'd hoped because this turned into hours and hours of engraving. And I'm here now, and we're going to move into the programming portion of things. Okay, so we're into ImagR, and what we're going to do is, first thing I say is upload your file. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit upload. We're going to pick grayscale. We've got our file right here. We're going to open that. Okay, there is our image, and we're going to take that, and the next step is going to be we're not going to crop it, we're going to leave it like it is. We're going to resize it like they say to, and that apparently is going to set it to what we want, so we're going to hit OK. I'm going to hit auto adjustment, run. But then you're supposed to pick your material, and we're doing this on wood, so we're going to hit OK. And we'll hit auto adjust again. And that gets us a pretty much completely different look. This is what we end up with now. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to hit download, and we're going to download this one as a JPEG. And that's what we end up with. So what we're going to do is we're going to engrave the two of these side by side, and we'll see which one looks better, is our next step. Okay, so this is the image we started with. This is it grayscaled using XTool, and this is what was generated through ImagR. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and do this in a small scale on all three of these and see which one looks the best. And what I really want to do is I want to mask this in a 12-inch circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold shift, and we're going to make this a 12-inch circle. And we're going to put that right over this, and we're going to expand this so that it fits. Expand this so that it's fully in our circle, right like that. Okay, now we're going to take that, we're going to mask it, and we're going to hit done. And that's going to be our engraving. That's going to be our engraving for the ImagR design. And now we're going to do the same thing with this one. Okay, so what I did was I took the original image, I grayscaled it, and then this is the ImagR image. And this is set for 1/8-inch basswood plywood. And I did a test, just a little test with the pirate image, and the pirate image was a tiny bit darker than this. So I bumped this one up to 25. But I left these at 20 because those came out a little muddy before. I want to see what those come out like. But I'm going to give this one a little more heat, see what happens. Okay, so here are our engravings coming right out of the machine. The first one, and this is not the smoothest wood, we're going to run this on another piece, but this is what I do a lot of engravings on. So the first one is the way it came right from my AI generation through XTool. And this is XTool's grayscale generation of it. And this is ImagR's version. And honestly, looking at it on the screen, I don't think it looked as good as it actually engraved. I think that actually looks... Okay, take that little spot right there with those people. And I think it looks better. I actually think this looks better on here with this wood
than it does with this. So we're going to run a couple more experiments. All right, there's the castle. A couple more experiments. Yeah, look at the brickwork on the castle compared to here. I mean, you pretty much lose all the definition on this one. And on this, everything's there. All right, so we're going to do some more testing on this today. And all right, on the first one, before we turn it to grayscale, I think we actually have more brick image, but the people are kind of cloudy. Now, when you go across, the people are a little cloudy there. They're a little better here. But on here, you can actually see them. All right, so that's one experiment. We're going to run a couple more.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a flip side comparison of these two engravings in a larger scale, just so we can see what the actual difference looks like on a larger scale. So I've got a piece of basswood in there, and we're going to go between the grayscale one, or actually we're going to go between the XTool generated one and the ImagR one. And what we're going to do is we're going to go with the settings that we did on our pirate themed one, which worked really nice at 30. So we're going to go, got too many windows open here. We're going to go 30. Oh, actually, easiest, quickest way to do that is 1/8" basswood quick, apply. And that goes to there, then we'll just do 30. And we're going to change this to 120. And on our pirate one, we were on, where is it? Jarvis is what it did, so we're going to stick with Jarvis. Okay, so there's our image, 3130, 180, and then this image here we actually were at 1/8" and apply. This one was actually at 20, 180, and 120. And I don't want to change that because that worked. All right, so we're going to run these and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to change the sizes down to fit my basswood, and we'll see what we end up with.
So on this one, this was our original image. Okay. This is our grayscaled image. And this is our image done with ImagR. As you can see, the detail on the houses, you could see basically the timber framing houses. You could see their timber frame. You could see all the stonework on the castle. And to this one, it looks more like a photograph, but like a blurry photograph. So depending on what you want, would depend on which way you want to go with this. The grayscale, I think, gets the people a little better than the original, but marginal. And I think the trees and stuff came out a little muddier than in the grayscale, as you can see in that little hill there. But on this one, the trees came out pretty decent. So that's it in 3-inch. So then I decided to do it in a larger scale, just to see what it actually looks like blown up. So in the grayscale version, we end up with I'd say that's a pretty decent shot. And then on the flip side, this is with ImagR, but I went a little dark. I tried it at 25, like the other thing came out, and it came out a little dark, but you do get a lot more definition. I mean, look at these houses. And the people. So that's what you get with ImagR. And then we'll just go back. This is the grayscale version. So it just depends on what you like. If you're doing something where you want all the detail, you lose some of the detail here. Whereas here, it's all there. So after this one, we're going to do a couple different ones. A couple ones that I had run on plywood that failed every time. And we're going to show how that got fixed in the next one. Okay, so this image here is an image that I created for a treasure box I made, a little jewelry box, and it didn't engrave great on the wood. Now, I thought this looked pretty good. It was a little dark, but I thought it would engrave okay because it looks like it's got good depth, but it didn't. So what we're going to do is we're going to resize it. Hit okay. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to do one touch, see what happens. Okay, so there's our image regenerated. All right, so we're going to change material to wood. All right, that's what we came up with. Let's just download it. We're going to download it in a PNG, and it's going to download it in the weird spot that it does. Okay, so we're going to run this file.
So this is the pirate box I made, and you can see it, but it's not great. And I did the sides, and those you have to get just right to make them out. So I said, well, let's see what happens if I do it in ImagR. So I redid it in ImagR. And this is the same image done in ImagR. As you can see, the detail is really there. And you could dial these up darker if you want. Like I said, that one I did darker came out too dark. There's some tweaking to do, but if you look at the two of these, that is quite a difference. So ImagR gives you so many downloads per day for free, or you can subscribe. But if you want something like that, I would say it's well worth it.
Okay, so here in ImagR, I basically just took it and I took the image that burned poorly and I redid it in ImagR, and this is what I came up with. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this image on the exact same piece of wood that we ran the other and see if this comes out better. And I'm also going to show you a trick on doing this to get a relief engraving. So we're going to pause this for a second, and I'm going to show you how to do a relief engraving using Atom. Okay, in Atom, we want to take that same picture and we want to try and make it a low relief. What we're going to do is we're going to click on the low relief. We're going to import this image in. You're going to have to change it to a PNG, even though when I created this, it was whatever it created, and it came out in SVG. So I had to convert it to a PNG. Once I did that, I put it into Atom, and we're going to regenerate that as a relief and see what that does. Now, in ImagR, it kept it with the cutouts and everything the same. I'm not sure if it's going to keep the cutouts and everything the same in this, or if it's going to make, I don't know. We're going to find out what it does. But there's a lot of different ways to make your images. Yeah, see, now it changed the image completely. And it made it round, which it didn't on the others. So I don't know. Not the same. But when we go into ImagR, it kept everything the same. So we're going to try the ImagR one and see how that works. Okay, so I brought the image in from ImagR into here, and here are the two side by side. Now it did change the size, so we're going to resize it to 3.5 by 7, and I don't know if the aspect stays the same, so we're going to go 3.5, and it's 6.99. It kept it. Oh, wait. Yep, 3.5, 6.99. That is really close. So what we'll do is I'd rather have a little overlap than a bare spot. No, not 70. How about we do 7? I don't know how I did 70. What the heck? Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's our ImagR one. And we're going to run that on the same type of piece of wood and see what we get. I'm going to delete that one. Quarter-inch pine, apply. Okay, 2120, and then we're going to up the lines per centimeter to 120. Okay, there's our image. We're going to run that off.
So this is an image that I tried to do for a dice tower. And as you can see it, but it came out kind of dark. So
And I somehow threw away the other variations I did of this, but I tried it lighter on, this is another design that I tried lighter, and then you can barely see it. As you can see, this is another in-between setting. So then I took that same image and I put it in ImagR. And this is what you get in ImagR versus this. So, and if say you want to paint these, if you painted this, you could see all the scales and everything. With this one, it's mostly char that you're going to be painting. So, something else to think about. I paint a lot of my stuff, but you can see the details. You can also see that AI makes dice very strange. I don't know what that is. 6 turned into a 5 on the left. But as you can see, you can really make out a lot on this version of it. Okay, so that's that one.
So these videos, I hope, help you out. I spend hours and hours and a ton of material making them. I try to use the material to make other things, but as you can see, a lot of failures on some of this. But I'm learning new tricks, passing them on to you. I hope they help. If you like the video, give a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you'd like to see more on designing different things or what you'd like to see. I've got all kinds of stuff. I'm thinking of doing a painting video coming up soon. I'll show you a picture of some of the stuff I've done.
So these are the cardinals I've cut out with the laser and engraved. These are all 3D engravings painted. And starting from my first video, these are some of the 3D engravings I've painted. And that one's just engraved. If you'd like to see more of the painting, what I do with that, leave a comment and I'll work one of those in soon.
So give a thumbs up, a like, subscribe if you want to see more. I've got a bunch of stuff coming. I just got sent a small laser to do some testing on, so that's coming up. I'll be doing some testing on a different laser. We're going to see something different, and I got a lot more stuff coming. Thanks for watching.